In this video, I'll be going through 7 lessons I have learned from making over 50 YouTube videos. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you know, quite recently I reached 100 subscribers here on YouTube. Now it's been over 2 years since I've been making videos on and off, and as of January quite consistently. But what I didn't realize when I checked my channel is I've actually made over 50 YouTube videos, 53, which this would be 54 if I can remember. And what I thought to do is, why not share some life lessons I've learned in my process that you may find beneficial if you're trying to start something new, or if you're actually intending to make YouTube videos or videos of any sort. So let's get crack into it because there's quite a lot to get through. So number one is consistency equals momentum. Now you hear a lot of people talking about consistency for various things in terms of how it benefits your YouTube growth, how it benefits the algorithm, how more people are likely to watch your videos if you got a consistent theme each week in, week out. But I want to look at it from the reverse, where how does consistency benefit you as the videographer? And what I've noticed is that it helps to build momentum week in, week out when you're having a consistent theme. So right now mine is Thursday evening and Sunday evening. I post 2 videos a week. And I've made sure that that is there ingrained no matter what. Thankfully my jobs are flexible so I can work around making a video perhaps. But having that consistency for me in terms of making video scripts, the thumbnails, shooting the videos, now becomes slightly autonomous. And what I mean by that is I require less energy now to make a video than I did before. So before it was like the whole day would be just around worrying about the framing, about the lighting and audio. But once you're more consistent, all of that slightly becomes autonomous. And it makes it a lot easier for you then to produce more videos, keep that consistent theme going, and then it's kind of like a snowball effect, or what we call a positive feedback loop, where the more consistent you are, the easier it gets, the more autonomous it becomes, the more videos you can make. So that, as a videographer, is really useful because you want more energy focused on the creative side and less energy required to actually film the video and have the things set up. So for example, since the 50 videos I've made, I turn on this light, I swing this microphone, click record here, and I'm ready to go. So, but it's taking me 50 videos to have a decent indoor setup. So that came from consistency. Number 2, and I think this is advice for anything that you do in terms of content creation or anything you do in life, is that try and do things in batches. So I'm now building up to do videos in batches where I shoot 2 to 3 videos in one go, and then I can edit in batches as well. So then I edit these videos one after each other. So I'm not racing against time to get a video out on the day. Now, sneak peek is this video I'm actually recording this Thursday and it's going out this evening because of work and commitments this week. But naturally I actually record videos a few days in advance, and now I'm building up through my consistency, as I just mentioned, to build videos a few weeks in advance. So then it's not as much pressure on me to get the edit out, because you've seen, for those who follow my videos, especially the past about 2 months, there are times where I realize that there's a problem with the edit, or there's a problem with YouTube, and I can't get it out at the time I wanted to. And that really annoys me because I want to be consistent and keep the promises I made for those who are watching, in the sense of making sure I'm uploading by 6 o'clock, making sure I'm uploading by 6 o'clock on Saturday as well. So doing that in advance makes life a lot easier and a lot less stressful. So, and why I'm saying this is useful for life in general, if you've got tasks to do that are quite automatic, you can do them in batches. Get them ready, get them primed, and then you can edit them one by one. So if you're a story writer, if you're an Instagram content creator, if you're even doing any type of work, see if you can do similar like works together in batches, because then you can edit or analyze or optimize. So a lot of people who watch my videos are researchers, so you can then analyze that data in batches because you've gathered the experiments, or you've done the focus groups or qualitative research in batches. So I've really learned the value of making content in batches, so then it's easier to disseminate out week in, week out. So during this break that's coming up in the next few days, I'm hoping to shoot more videos because I enjoy it. It's something that I like to do as a pastime, and then hopefully I can edit them one by one to get them out for you. Now, number 3 is something I found quite hard to do, but I know is really important, and that is, don't compare, just learn and improve. A very famous quote we all know, that comparison is the thief of joy. And when you're starting out on YouTube, or when you're like a young YouTube creator, so what I mean by that is anybody who's under 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, you can compare like your videos to other people who are similar to you or just slightly ahead and say, why are they getting views and I'm not? I've got good transitions, I've got good audio and lighting, I'm very dynamic on the camera, I give a lot of useful advice, I think. How come my videos are not growing? I have a similar title to them. You sort of have all of these comparisons. And this is also useful for life in general. Stay in your lane, focus on what you can control. All I can control is I can make 2 YouTube videos a week that I feel are of value for researchers, for content creators, documenting my journey. That is what I can control. I can try and make my titles and my descriptions as applicable as possible, so I give myself the best chance. But I can't control the views. I can't control the watch time. As hard as it is to make hours and hours of content and only get maybe 30 views and 1 or 2 hours of watch time, yeah, that can be disheartening at times, but that's not what my focus should be. I enjoy the process as hard as it can be sometimes. I try not to compare. I try and learn from them. And that's where you have this reverse engineering, this change in perspective, where instead of comparing and being down about what somebody else is doing, that you're like, oh, but actually they don't even look at the camera much. The audio sometimes fluctuates. They're looking at the, you can say the actual camera itself and not the lens, which is over here. Just whilst I was talking, this light cut out, so I just had to plug it in. But I believe I was talking about this whole change of perspective. And I think when I initially was comparing to people who were similar to me and like, why they get more views, I said, hold on, I'm pleased for them. First of all, be happy for them. And then say, right, what can I learn from them? What kind of questions can I ask from them in order to improve myself? So when you change that perspective, you don't see comparison as a negative thing. You see it as a way to learn. From bigger content creators, from smaller ones. And even if you think that your video is better than them, that's only from your perception. Somebody else might prefer their style of videos. Sometimes they might prefer their authenticity or something like that. And I think then you start to realize that, okay, there's always things you can learn in content creation, especially video making. So don't compare, just learn and then improve. And I've done that since day one, from other people, from advices from other people, from advices from other content creators on YouTube and on Instagram. They told me that try this, do that, try this, do that. And I've listened because I don't know everything. I don't know everything about video making. I have a phone, microphone, and a light. That's it. But you can always improve. So I always think, don't compare. Utilize that comparison in all fairness. But don't have the mentality of why they're better than me. What can you learn from somebody else? And that's useful advice for anything in life, whether you're working, personal life, anything like that. Learn from one another. If you think that somebody's doing something better or different, what can you learn from? So use comparison for a beneficial reason, not something that's going to hurt your mindset over time. So number 4 is the whole notion of you have more ideas than you think when you're making videos. Now, a lot of people ask me that, don't you feel you're going to run out of content ideas about research or about PhD life? And I said, no, not really, because there's so many experiences that I can talk about and so many advices I can try and give before getting into PhD, doing a PhD, after a PhD, research life now. And each experience that you have can be a video. Each interaction that you had can be a video. Each problem that you had can be a video. Each minor success can be a video. And then you don't realize that there's nearly an infinite amount of ideas that are useful. Again, not just bog standard videos that people might not enjoy. Beneficial videos of value, entertaining videos, powerful stories. A friend of mine watched the research journey video, which you can see over here, and said that it was powerful. I loved it. And I was like, wow, I didn't think that video would have that kind of interpretation. But it shows that, even videos like that, which I just did before my graduation as a favor, is now the best video on my channel. Over 1,000 views, by the way, which is nice. But then even other videos like expectation versus reality, sharing some insights like this video. I'm just not a research video. I'm just sharing and documenting some lessons I've learned from making videos that I think people will find beneficial. So I think many people have strategies and ideas of content engines, what we call like idea engines. For me, it's I look at every aspect of what I did. How can that be extracted into lessons or advice or top tips? And I do that, and I realize I have tens and hundreds of videos I could potentially make. And then I learn from other people who are in the area, see what videos they have made, and could I share my version of it from my experience. So whether it's Instagram posts, whether it's content creation, whether it's videos, written posts, look back at what you've done and also document your journey, which is another life lesson I'm going to be talking about. But in terms of ideas, use Notion, Apple Notes, or whatever, but just sit down and have a think. All right, yeah, I remember I had that situation. What can I share to other people? What can I look at this, look at that? And I'll just start typing it like this and that. So I think that's also something to bear in mind, that if you're going into content creation like this, you actually have more ideas than you think if you spend time to look at what you've done before. I think that's the biggest gap that a lot of people forget. The next lesson is actually don't be afraid to change. Because if you look at the first video, which you can see here that I made, I was in my spare room in my university, using my iPad, by the way, and I was so far away, and I thought, okay, that looks like a decent setup. Then I changed to outdoors. Then I changed to a different setup like this, which you see in the my 2 year journey to making videos. Then you see my bedroom tour, how I set it up like this, but then I changed it to this. And even the contents I'm talking about, before it was more about nutrition and research topics, now it's more about research advice and help. And then it's more about my journey as a content creator and making YouTube videos. You evolve, you change over time. And I think that's really important, because you're not set in stone with your theme right at the start. Especially even like big content creators, they evolve, they change their theme over time in line with what people want, but also in line with how they are growing. You know, soon in 6-7 months' time, I might be talking more about postdoctoral life, so life after doing a PhD, because I would have acquired so much experience by then to share. I've been a supervisor for a PhD student, so many of my videos might be about that, might be about sharing that type of thing. So I think that's also really important to bear in mind. And I think whatever content creation you're trying to do, don't be afraid to change and evolve over time. I've learned this from content creators. I learned it from making over 50 YouTube videos. Now, if you see the videos, you'll see the themes that I'm growing. The way my thumbnails recently changed, trying to improve. My ability to talk on the camera also has improved, I think, especially indoor. I bought a drone recently, which I'm going to be showing videos about. So about outdoor footage, I'm evolving and changing over time, and don't be afraid to do that, because if you have that narrow mindset and you're rigid, your videos then will become so, and then people will get bored of that. You become bored of making those videos, and then you kind of get left in the dust because you haven't evolved or progressed your channel and the way that you make content. So that's very important to bear in mind. Now the next one, you just heard me touch upon it a little bit, but I learned it from Gary V, which many people may know, may like, or may not like. I'm not here to talk about that. I actually found a lot of his advice really useful, and he helped me to understand: document your journey, don't just create content. So this video is actually an example of that. I'm just documenting what I've learned from making 50 videos on YouTube. Now, yes, my growth hasn't been as in line with the average amount of people who make 50 videos and what video views they get, what subscriber count they get. But again, as I mentioned before, I'm not worried about that. I'm trying to improve and develop, and hopefully over time things progress. But today's video is actually a documentation video. These are lessons I've learned over time, and I'm just sharing these lessons to see if they are of benefit of you, if they are of value to you, whether you're in content creation or not. If you just want to see the lessons I've learned over time. I don't have to create some magic idea. I said, right, I made over 50 videos. What have I learned from day one to now? And that culminated in this video that you see here. So whatever walk of life you are, whatever background or job or life that you have, there are things that you think are not important or not valued that is actually valuable to somebody else. That somebody might watch you, who's watching this video, might be thinking of starting on YouTube. And I think they will find this video beneficial. So even like I do a lot of posts on Instagram. Again, if you haven't followed me on Instagram, please do so. That I just document things I'm doing during the day in terms of research live, preparing for YouTube videos. That especially when I'm editing videos, I show people that look, it's me editing. I've got this issue. I've got that issue. A lot of people see authenticity with that. Like it's a personal journey that they feel they're a part of, and they are. And I think a lot of the times content creators early on, they burn out or they say, "Oh, I've lost ideas," but many times they don't document their journey, because if you do develop and when you do become more known, more successful, you want to show the journey for you to get there. And if you're already documenting, you can just point people to videos of, like for example, I did a video of my 2 year journey on YouTube, of making videos. Sorry, the video didn't do very well on YouTube, but it's still me documenting bits of my progression. And maybe somebody over time might watch that video and say, right, wow, you went from here to here to here to here to here, and now you're here. You know, I've had thankfully advice from people who said, you should be having way more subscribers than you have at the moment. And I think, thank you, but it's not up to me. You know, as much as I try, if people want to subscribe, and if you do want to subscribe, please do so. But there's no obligation, and I'm not worried about that. So back to the point of, if you just document anything that you do, my advice and action point for this is document anything that you do, because you don't know how impactful that documentation might be for somebody else. And you see a lot of these videos on the Thursdays that I do are type of documentation videos, which I hope you find beneficial. And lastly, this life lesson really hit me, because this lesson's all about remind yourself why you started. I've now made over 53 YouTube videos. It's nearly over 18 hours of content. I've just passed 100 subscribers. I've just passed 4,000 views. Many people get that in 5 or 6 videos. I always remind myself why I started, to prevent myself from feeling down. Make sure I know why I'm doing this day in, day out, why I'm putting in these hours, why I'm putting in this effort and time. Now, one of the main reasons why I started was to share complex information in research to the public so they can understand, benefit and utilize. My channel is now evolved to sharing advices and life lessons to help research students, help the next generation of scientists learn from the issues and the troubles and difficulties that I faced and how I overcame them. And that, along with this documenting, not just creating, along with sharing useful advice about the latest aspects of research, which is coming in the next few weeks, and a constant self-reflection of that daily helps to revitalize that mindset, that you can say that thought process, that intention. Because there are times when you say, what is the point of this? There are times, and I felt this, when it's like, how come that video didn't do well? This has taken nearly 8 hours to do this, or 9 hours to do this. I have to constantly remind myself why I started making this channel. And I think to add it as a little key statement, if I'm helping the next generation of scientists through the advices and life lessons I've given, I'm happy. If I'm sharing tips and advice for the research life for people who are in undergrad and masters, I'm happy. If I'm sharing the latest in research about nutrition, exercise or psychology, just helping people to think in a different way that's useful for them, I'm happy. And if I'm documenting my journey of starting off with 0 subscribers to now 111 to maybe 1,000 to maybe 10,000, 100,000, I think that optimistically, because you have to. Don't set yourself boundaries of this. You know, I hope to see 100,000 subscribers of people tuning in to my research content. Who knows? You know, I don't know if that will ever happen or when that will happen, but I have to try it. And the only way I'm going to keep trying is I have to remind myself why I started in the first place. So my advice to you is, whatever you're doing in terms of content creation, ask yourself daily, why did you start? People will ask you, why did you start? If you don't have an answer, that's worrying, right? If you enjoy it, fine. That is an answer. Why you started? I enjoy making content. That's fine. That is an answer. But the more clear-cut answer you have, the more you're aware of, right, no matter what difficulties I go through, this is why I started. So guys, I genuinely hope you found this video beneficial. Some of the life lessons that I've shared in my journey to making 53 videos on YouTube. If you found this beneficial, do let me know in the comment section which one was your favorite. Hit me up on Instagram, Aamir.phd, or email me at aamir@researchtribe.org. Or you got any questions, let me know. Love to have a chat if you wanted to. But I want to get this video out before the Easter break, so I wish you all a good break over the next few days. Do relax, enjoy wherever you are. And I will send out a video on Sunday, another PhD 101 video. But in any case, enjoy the weather. If the weather is good, here in the UK or wherever you are, and I shall see you on Sunday. Take care.